Hello and welcome back to my channel. It's me, Elisa, and I guess today I'm going to be doing another podcast, and this will be episode 3. So grab something warm to drink, something that you enjoy. Today I'm just drinking some mocha K-cup thing that I got at the store. This mug, it's really full. But if I can turn it around, it just says snuggle season, so nice and cool. There's snow outside where I live right now, so it just has helped setting the overall mood for me. It's quite hot right now. Today is kind of a funnier podcast because I recorded yesterday and it was a really nice podcast. It went really well. And I was going to edit and I was like, that's strange. I thought it was longer than like 15 minutes. I lost like 20 or so minutes of my footage because I didn't realize that it wasn't recording. I ran out of storage on my card, so I had to go and fix that. So I just figured because yesterday I did a lot more projects, I might as well just make a new one today. So that's what I am going to do. With that being said, I want to say a quick thank you to everybody that's been watching and commenting and liking and subscribing. It really does mean the world that you guys are enjoying my content and my podcasts, and I really hope that this will be the start of something that I can continue for years. And I'm really excited. I'm glad I finally just put it out there, and I was not expecting to receive such wonderful love and support so quickly. So thank you so much. I've gotten wonderful recommendations and it's truly been just an amazing time for me. Thank you. So with that being said, I'm just gonna jump right into it. And I will start with what I'm wearing. And some of you who've watched the previous episodes will probably recognize that this is my Lempi sweater. I'll insert some footage of me wearing it a little bit taller. It's hard to see when I'm sitting down. But it is completely finished. I actually finished it that night that I said I was going to after I was filming. That's all I worked on that whole night, and I stayed up probably, literally the last thing I did was cast off, weave in the end, and then go straight to sleep. So that was able to get done in that night, which was really cool because I liked how quick it was. It was a really nice quick knit because of how chunky it is. It's super warm, which I was expecting, 1 because it's acrylic and 2 because it's such a heavy material. But I typically wear the collar folded. If I'm walking outside though, I will pull it up because it keeps my neck nice and warm. You can tell that there's no shaping or anything, so it kind of bunches right here, but it was a nice, easy beginner knit, and I do like the overall look of it. I think it's really nice and cozy. It looks like a nice oversized sweater. I do like the color. I think if I were to do it again, I'd try to go for more of a brown, just because I think, not that there was anything wrong with this color, but I just don't know how easy it is to pair with things. So I think I would have done more of like a neutral brown or even a cream, but I do like it, so it's probably, I've been wearing it quite a bit. I've gotten lots of compliments at my work, which is really exciting. I do have like 3.5 of the skeins left because I had bought in like 10 of them, and they are the Paintbox Simply Super Chunky, and it's 100% acrylic. I talked a little bit more in my last video on it, and I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of it. Like, I probably could do like a hat, but I'm really not sure. It's not a ton. It's really only, 3.5 skeins, so I can't really do much. But maybe I'll think of something. I don't know, let me know what you guys do with your leftover project skeins, or do you just keep them strictly for like scrappy projects? So that's this finished one, and again, it was just done raglan decreases, it was raglan decreases because you knit it bottom up, and then you connect them all. You knit the sleeves, the body, and you stop around the bust area, Then you connect them all in the round, and then at the end you just seam in the sides here. And then you continue going up in the raglan decreases, and then once you get to the collar you switch to DPNs or like magic loop, and then you knit in just, I think it was 1x1 ribbing. Yeah, 1x1 ribbing all the way. I think it said like 12 centimeters. I think I would personally maybe have done like 1 or 2 less rows just because it's like way up there. But I will admit it does keep me warm. But I fold it down anyway, so I'm not upset about it. I've washed it already and it's done fine, so I'm not worried about the wear of it. Obviously, since it's acrylic, it probably won't last as long. I'm not super versed in like comparatively how long things last, but it was a fun project and I'm glad I got it done. It was the quickest sweater I think I've ever made, so that was cool. Then the next thing I have is my little pumpkin, and one of these, let me see if I can even remember which one. One of these I finished, this one. This was the first one. Well, actually, this was the second one I finished. The first one I finished, my husband has at his little desk. This one I made, this was the one I was working on, and I finished it yesterday. When I recorded the podcast, I was like, so far, this much on it, and you work it from the stem down. It was like this far, so I just cranked it out, and then now I have it to share in the podcast that I am re-recording. So this one will go to one of his coworkers because I appreciate when people appreciate the hard work that I put into things. So I'm knitting this one for her, and I know there's snow on the ground. It's kind of pretty much past fall season, but at least they'll have it for next year, and who knows, maybe they keep it around all year. This one was, again, the knitted pumpkin pattern by Norman, or Nimble Needles. I don't remember what his Ravelry user is. But it was a really fun construction. These are honestly like my favorite little pumpkins to ever make. I love the shaping of them. And they're knit with KLLs and KRLs, where you basically knit a new stitch from the bottom stitch, so like a stitch below, and it creates this really cool like shaping right here in the middle. And then these are just simple right and left leaning decreases, so like SSK or knit two together. So this was a really fun knit, and it's just so satisfying seeing it start to form and come together, and when you stuff it, it's so fun. So that's that one. The next finished object, this is what I was so excited about, is, guys, I finished a pair of socks and I think they look great. So these were knit from the cuff down, and it was just using Kitchener stitch at the end of the sock. So I used the Cascade yarns. I used Cascade yarns heritage prints. This is the one I want to knit for my mother possibly. I haven't decided if I'm going to give them as gifts because I really like them. And I don't have a pair of socks yet, but hopefully I can make some, and then I'll have like a ton, and then I can decide at the end like, okay, I can give some. But these are super soft, and I love the pattern. They were so fun to knit, guys. Like the first one took me about a week of knitting on it. The next one, it took me like 3 days. So that was a lot of fun. And these were just constructed with a simple slip stitch for the heel flap, and then you do the heel turn, then you pick up the gusset stitches, and then you decrease until you get to the right amount of stitches that you cast it on, and then you just do decreases here at the toe. Just a super basic sock construction, and I followed my favorite socks pattern, I think. I don't remember who it was called, but I'll put it in the video. And she had a follow-along video as well, so I watched that. I was originally doing the Crazy Sock Ladies, and there's nothing wrong with hers. I love her content. In fact, the other sock that I was working on that is color work that I'm going to have to frog, I was following one of her patterns for. So, and they're knit super similarly. Both are great. But these have just brought me so much joy. I need to get a sock blocker, and I really want to go and get one. Like, if I could pick it up today, I would. But I don't know what stores necessarily sell them, and I have a feeling it's going to be like an Amazon purchase or really like any online purchase. If you do know of a store, let me know, even though I'll probably have bought it by the time I release this video. But still, let me know where you got your sock blockers. If there's any bad ones, like what's the rule of thumb with buying sock blockers? Do you buy, like I'm sure there's more than one size. I haven't looked too far into it, but we will have to see what happens. So this is like my proudest thing. I mean, actually the other cabled sweater, that was some hard work, but this is just so cool to me. So there's that. And I also did have quite a bit of leftover yarn, so I probably could knit up some shorties. I don't know. That, or I'll save it for something else. I could make a headband, which I think would be cool. I have some ideas that I'll share towards the end of what I want to do for winter knits, but that was what I had left for the socks. I think the next pair that I make, I want to elongate the leg a little bit, and I think that will help use up more of the yarn. But I think this is a nice length for like those little booties that we wear in the fall, or at least I wear in the fall. I think they're the perfect type for those, and that's what I was thinking of. So overall, very happy about that one. That's all I have for finished objects right now, which is fine because, I mean, those three, that's quite a bit for me. So not too bad at all about those. The next thing that I want to talk about are my whips. And as some of you may know from my first episode, this is probably the most exciting one because I'm finally starting it. Here is my swatch for the Ingrid sweater by Petiteknit. And like I said, I did a really good job about hitting gauge. I think it was half a stitch too short, which doesn't bother me because I think it'll be fine since it's pretty much knit with a lot of positive ease. So I'm excited about that. But like, I could look at this forever. Right now I keep it pinned on my desk. So that way I can see it every day because it just brings me joy, but it's also a little bit daunting. The pattern actually wasn't as bad as it was. It's going to be a long knit. And I finally have just cast it on, like literally just before this video. I cast it on last night, realized I had way too long of a tail left. Now I have like way too short of a tail left, but I have all of my stitches for the size that I'm going to be wearing cast on. And that's probably what I'm going to work on a little bit this afternoon, just because I want to see some progress on it, and that'll help keep me motivated. I'm super excited about this one just because it's such a beautiful pattern. Everybody's knitting it. Why wouldn't you knit it? It's gorgeous. And I chose these yarns to knit them with. One is the Easy Care Classic, and the other is Diablo by Hobbii. And I got these both on Hobbii. I think in my first video, or episode 1, is where I did my little unboxing, and that was really fun. I didn't realize they sent candy in theirs, and that was a very nice piece of candy. I enjoyed it a lot. But I like how this is a lighter lavender, really purpley-ish color, but then this is more of like an undertone, like a dusty purple almost. And I definitely got the idea from Bethany from Well Loved Knits, and she has been dreaming of like a dusty purple sweater, and hers was a little bit darker that she made than what she was originally thinking, but I love that color. And I saw these and I was like, ooh, that would be pretty cool for the Ingrid sweater. And I think it'll look good. I like the fabric that it makes. Like, it's definitely not as bright as the purple, but it's like, it mutes really well together. I like it. And I think it'll look okay on my skin tone. I can't I don't know for sure. I don't know how to tell if this stuff will look nice or not, but I like it, so I'm hoping it'll look fine. My sister is really good at telling what looks good on your skin or not, but I'll have to ask her. That is the first whip that I literally, like I said, just cast on. The next one is another pair of socks. It's the Craggy shore socks, and this is how much I've got done on it. I started this one last night because I really wanted to get it done, and I knew if I kept starting other things, I wasn't going to. And I really like it so far. It's a cool pattern. It's done with like 4x2 rib in a sense. So you knit 4, then purl 2, and then you swap them over after 4 rows. So you'll knit 1, purl 2, and then knit 1, I think. Yeah, it's a repeat, but it makes this really cool like wavy pattern, and I love it. I also love the cream color that I chose. I think these are gonna be really nice. And this is just with the same wool that I was using from Hobbii. It's their rainbow sock wool, and it's a 4-ply, and I believe it's, what's the label? It is 75% wool, 25% polyamide, and that is something that I've actually been enjoying. It knits up pretty quickly because I didn't spend a ton of work on this. Like I maybe did like, I don't know, 40-ish minutes, maybe not even an hour, maybe an hour, not sure. But it worked up really quickly, so I have a feeling I'll finish these in relatively no time at all, which would be really cool because I haven't started the other sock because I want to knit my own self a sock, and I know these ones will be for me. And if I can knit myself a pair of socks, I think I'll be a lot better about giving a pair of socks away. I know there's nothing wrong with me keeping them for myself. It's just I feel bad because I already said I was gonna give them. Not that anybody in my family watches my videos, but like it's that knowing that you're a selfish knitter, and I hate it, but I love it because I was not a selfish knitter. And that is, so yeah, that's finally my Craggy shore socks are started, which is really cool. And this is my last whip that I have, and I started it last night as well. Like I said, I was doing like a cast on marathon last night. It was pretty fun. This is the, I don't know if you can see, the bottom of my Snowman. Yay! And the pattern that I'm following is in my video, my previous video, and it was the snowman, cute little snowman. I don't remember what it's called, but it's by Rebecca Danger, and she knits like this little collection of like Christmas monsters. So cute. And I'm just knitting the snowman. I'm using a worsted weight on, what size are these? 3.5 millimeters, because you're gonna stuff it and you don't want stuffing getting all over. And I'm just using Carron Simply Soft. I'm pretty sure this is the same stuff I used for the pumpkin, but they feel and just seem different, so I don't know. I like the pumpkin yarn a lot more. This is like thicker and it's not as nice to work with, but it's fine because it's just gonna be a little toy anyway. So this is my pumpkin that I'm working at, or pumpkin. This is my snowman that I'm working on. It hasn't gotten very far, but you can start to see the shape of it. The pattern knits it on magic loop, but I don't really want to use my interchangeables because I'm going to be doing a ton of other projects. So I just finished my pumpkin so that way I can use my DPNs for that. And the cool thing about toys is it really doesn't matter about gauge, because if you have a larger toy or a smaller toy, like who cares? So that's what I am doing with those. That's all that I have for whips right now. Acquisitions. That's the next part that I am pretty excited about, because this I think could be a future video, and I kind of got the idea from somebody in the comments where they were like, oh, if you do decide to dye that sweater, please like share that with us. I think that'd be really cool. Good news, I guess, is the colors have grown on me a little bit, and it's also just become pretty sentimental just with how much support and love I've gotten from people. And it's like, wow, that is my first knitted sweater. Like, why would I want to change it? Who cares if I don't wear it out or if I don't feel comfortable in wearing it out? Like, I'll still wear it around the house and I'll still wear it when I'm knitting and it'll still bring me joy, but I think it's just really grown on me, and you guys have helped so much with that. So I don't know if I'm going to touch that one, but I did find some mystery yarn at the thrift store, and I was really hesitant about this because I don't know how I felt about getting thrifted yarn, especially when there's no label, there's no info on here at all for what this was. I stuck it in a Ziploc. It was already in a stapled bag, but I stuck it in a Ziploc so I could stick it in the freezer because it looks kind of dirty. Like, there's like little bits of leaves and like twigs and like there's quite a bit of stuff to have to pull out of it. I'm like positive that this is natural yarn. I don't know what type. I'm not experienced enough to know. But it's because I've stuck this in the freezer for like 4 hours or like a week. So I'm fine touching it now. But when I pulled it out, I was gonna do the whatever test where you cut a piece and then see if it burns or melts. And it was like hanked up, and I rehanged it. I'm not very great at hanking it. But it was already put in this sort of thing, and I was like, there's no way this isn't natural yarn. Like, why would somebody do this with acrylic? And there's a bunch of little pieces falling all over the place, so it's super sheddy. But I want to dye it, and I want to do my own little my own video of me dyeing yarn. How fun does that sound? And this, I think, is a great way to do it because it's experimental. If it fails, it was like $6 at the thrift store. I'm not gonna throw a fit about it. And it's already wrapped in, it's already wrapped up so it's easy to dye. And I have like quite a bit of it. I have 2 of these pretty hefty skeins. And then there's another like worsted weight one in there that I'm iffy about. I probably will dye it to practice, but the other 2, because there's so much, I really do want to try. So my Ziploc finally just ripped. That's the plan with those. If you have any idea what type of natural fiber that is or how to figure it out, do let me know. My goodness, does it shed though? I don't know if I'd actually knit it up with something just because of how much it sheds. Is it supposed to shed that much? Like, it's a lot. Like, my leggings are covered in it. Let me know what you think it could be. I might just dye it to dye it because why not? But I think it's definitely going to be a little bit of work and TLC in a sense. And my goodness, does it shed? So it's like, it feels like a very rustic type of wool or natural fiber. Maybe I'll give a little bit better of a close-up. I don't know what you guys can see. Feels very rustic and like a natural fiber, so it'll be interesting to see what I do with it. But I am planning on dyeing it, so definitely let me know if that's something that everybody would like to see and follow along with. I think I'll still make a video regardless because some people have already mentioned that they would. But definitely, oh, maybe give me ideas for colors and like types of dye. Like I would love to try the acid dye because that seems like a lot of fun. And like, okay, that sounds like fun. But let me know in the comments what colors I should do or theme or something like that. I know Tiffany Lou just came out with her like Willy Wonka collection, which is so fun, and I'm probably gonna end up getting some, but I don't want to miss out this time. The next one is this. It's some more thrifted yarn, which was interesting because I wasn't expecting this, but I went to one of our thrift stores and they had go watch my thrift with me video. I don't know if it's out yet or if it's coming out next week, but I got this there and they had so many. I might go back and get more because they were $2.50. Like, they originally were going for like $4.98 or something, but they were on sale for 50% off. So I picked up 4 and then I left and then I was like, I should have picked up more. But it's the Cascades yarns, 100% Prima cotton, Ultra Prima. And I think I could knit a few different things. Like, I think there's a crop top or like a bralette that I think would be really nice in this color. And like, the color's not bad at all. It's like a peachy pink. So I don't mind it. Picked up 4. The other thing that I'm thinking of is doing like a headband for Christmas gifts. But like I said, why did I only pick up 4? They had so many. Like, they probably had like at least 20 or so different skeins. So I definitely should go back and get more, and I might do that today. I don't know if they'll still be on sale, so I don't know if I will pick up that many, but like $2.50, that's a really good price for this. At least I think. I mean, on the thing, I just think that's really cool. But yeah, it's 220 yards each. I think somebody just destashed and donated, which was really cool. But I got those, and I didn't find any nice knitted sweaters that I wanted to get, but I did find yarn, so that's always a win. And those I'm much more comfortable with than the other one. The other one's really just for a fun little experiment, so I'm not too worried about that. But that's all I have for acquisitions right now. The next section that I want to talk about are my future plans, or things that I have stirring, I guess. And as many of you know, I want to knit up the cargo sweater, the cargo cowl by Rebecca from the Craggy podcast, and I want to knit it up with this. I bought these to go with the Lempi sweater, but I didn't feel comfortable knitting the two different weights together. I just didn't think it was going to work well. Maybe it would have, but I decided to go against it, and I want to do that. And somebody recommended Wool Warehouse, so I'm going to check them out to get some yarn to go with it, and especially because they have lots of sales going on all the time. The other option is I am going to Tallahassee this next weekend for the Florida FSU game, and they might have a local yarn store there that I could look at. I don't know. My city does not. The closest one, well, I don't know if it's the closest, but the one that I have gone to has been like an hour and 15 out of the city. So if there's one in Tally, I would love to go there and just check it out, maybe find something, you never know. But that's what I want to do with this, and I don't have like a time frame. I just want to do it in the winter because when I don't have a turtleneck on, like, I get really cold. So that's one of the projects. The other project is, I think I'm going to make some headbands with this one, and I could make the standard typical headband, but I want like the bandana headbands, and I think that would be really fun. Like, there is a video that I watched by High Fiber Arts, I can't remember, but she's like a science teacher, and I can't remember her name, and I'm spacing. I really like her videos, and she did like a haul or a Hobbii one where she wore this really pretty green headband bandana thing, and ever since I've seen that, I have completely wanted to do that. So I'm probably going to do that with this. This originally was like I don't even know if I have the label anymore, but it was some like polyester cheap wool, not wool, I don't even think it's wool, but it was some acrylic yarn that I got at Joann's in the clearance section for like $1 when I was first starting, and I didn't do anything with it. Then I knit up like a shirt without a pattern. Like, it was a crop top kind of shirt. It was way too big, so I unraveled it and now it's just been sitting in a ball. And I think that's what I'm going to do with it, because I don't know what else I'd do with it. So that's the plan for those. And then I do have a few other plans that I think I'm just going to put into a whole new video, because I could talk forever on different ideas that I have going on. But I think that's really all that I have for this podcast. I don't think there's really much else, unless I'm forgetting something, but let me know what you guys think, especially about like different colors that we could dye those with, or at least like themes, and then we can start to think of colors. Like, I think that'd be cool if it was a group effort, just because that'll be like my first, oh, this was inspired by the people who watch and support my channel. Like, I think that'd be really fun. So definitely leave a comment below of a color or a theme or something connected to yarn dyeing, and we'll see where that goes for us. And I think that's all that I have. Thank you so much for watching, for liking, subscribing, commenting, for being a part of this little corner I have on the internet. And I really hope you enjoyed this video and that you'll stick around for more. If you do, you can hit the notifications button, which is the little bell, and then that'll give you notifications anytime that I post. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a great week, great weekend, great month, happy knitting, and I'll see you on the next one.